HappyThumbsGaming. Booyakashaw.
Hey everybody, it's Brian with HappyThumbsGaming. Today we're checking out episode 2, Cotton Mouth Bluff, where we find all 12 treasures for Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. So this will, again, require you to have all 5 costumes from each of the 5 episodes, one from each. And once you have all those, you will be able to access all 12 of the treasures here in this level. So if you haven't figured it out already, it pretty much goes story, treasures, masks, booyakashow. You can do bottles anywhere along the way, but, you know, whatever works. So we're going to go ahead and jump off to the right side of the hideout and ride the trains, infamous style, all the way around over to these hotels. And then we're going to jump around the backside here and get up on top of this ledge, which you can also reach from the front side, as I briefly glanced over that way. But you can say there on the map where she blows, and we'll go ahead and jump off the backside and get right back on the train tracks. Now, watch out for the train, because it will ruin your day. You know, it's one of those things where if you get hit by a train as a raccoon, you're probably not going to live to see another day. But regardless, we dodged it, we hit up the top, and now we have dropped it, and we're moving on to treasure number 2. Oh, yeah. All right, again, as always, we have provided a collectibles map that we created and have marked all the locations for the treasures. We also have one for the bottles for this level available too, posted in a link down below, or it can be found at our website, HappyThumbsGaming.com, and just search for the Sly Cooper treasure or bottle maps, whichever you prefer or are in need of. So we are still on the southwestern side of the map over here. We're going to start down there, as we may or may not have mentioned so far, and we're going to work our way clockwise around the map. Speaking of clockwork, better get it going. There's that train again. So hopefully you'll get lucky like me, and the timing will be just about right for that train flying by, and you can climb across the pole and make your way up there. Now we have found too that the best way to move is definitely on the ground or on a rope. The ropes, you seem to move faster when you hold R1, but that may just be a blur effect while you're on the rope. It's hard to tell. But regardless, being in the air or jumping around, probably not the fastest way. So after you return treasure number 2, you're going to drop down right below the hideout on the right side again and kind of tuck down below. And then we're going to get inside, and then you guys are going to get a good chuckle out of this one. So you got to pull out your samurai costume and reflect the fireball back at it. But it takes me, 100 tries or so. So hopefully you'll learn from my lesson. You'll stand right in front of it. Maybe take one for the team before you grab that shield and slap it right back. There's a quick peep at the map just to give you an idea where we are. It's kind of a funny way of looking at it. If you're looking at the map, it almost looks like it's out in front of the hideout as opposed to kind of under the hideout. So a little bit misleading. It's hard to judge depth in a two-dimensional map, but regardless, we showed you on the video, so booyakashow. Now we got 3 down, and we're heading on to 4. I'm sure you know by now there are 12 treasures in every map, or in every area, and we are basically a third of the way there already. So now we're working our way around towards the top, kind of the northwestern side of the map. Almost the north point, really, but still a little bit on the west side. We'll grab this guy, and we'll head back. Now, remember, you cannot tip off any of the guards. Well, if you do, you can't take any damage from any of the guards. And you got to run like the dickens all the way through. And look at that. That was close. There's a couple here that are super close. Some of them are almost embarrassing how close they are. And a couple I get with 20 seconds or more left. So, it goes both ways. And speaking of going both ways, we're going to hop over the train and make it all the way back to this hotel over here. And we actually target the wrong one, so our bad here. We knew right where we were going, but we got lost right at the last second. So you're going to actually want the green hotel. If you followed our bottle walkthrough, it's actually one of the 2 hotels that had the rope and the bottle in between them. So now to the end. Again, we find the best way to travel is up top on the ropes or on the ground running. And you can see here we barely made it there, so you're probably going to need to hit that pretty perfect there. And on to the, here we go, number 6. Basically halfway done here. Going to jump all the way back around to this train track and utilize it to slide along till we get to these 2 little outhouses. They're right on the northeastern side of the map here. And like I said, we're just working our way around. If you haven't figured it out, depending on which way you're looking on the tracks, the one side travels one way and the other side travels the other way. It's not rocket science, but it is a little confusing if you're just joining in. And booyah! Temporal flux. It's awesome. Wonder if that's like the second cousin of the flux capacitor. I don't know. It may or may not be. We are traveling through time right now. And it is a little disappointing that Murray wasn't rolling a DeLorean. Could you imagine Murray in a DeLorean? That'd be hilarious. I think the door would have to be popped all the time. All right, so you guys are familiar with the covered bridges over kind of on the eastern side here. We're going to go ahead and switch to our archer costume. And we always switch back to Sly so we can run fast across those ropes. We don't like taking time. We like going fast. And so we're going to go ahead and once we get in there, we're going to tuck inside and grab that treasure. And we are going to turn and burn and head back towards our hideout. This one was kind of a pain, I won't lie. I actually had to do this one twice. I fell just short. I literally was coming up the stairs, rounding that last turn. We're almost to that point. We're right here when I ran out of time. So hopefully you won't run into that. If you do, the good news is that you're right at the hideout and you can run right back to where it was. It's not very far. These treasures are challenging, but they are fairly easy too. So a little bit of both makes it nice, even balance. All right, so now you're going to ride the tracks to where you see the Y. And at the Y, we're going to hang out and take a left. And there's actually two treasures in this area, one high and one low. We're going to start with the one low, the little cacti back in the corner here. We're going to grab him and try not to alert any of the baddies on the way out. And then we're just going to jump on the old rail and slide all the way back. Definitely utilize this rail. You will never make it if not. And I'm pretty sure this is one of the items that you have to buy along the way from the thief.net store. But, you know, I bought every one of them as they were made available to me, so it's hard for me to say what was and what wasn't, stock to begin with. Clockwork Collector. All right, so if you're following along, you should too have that if you haven't gotten any treasures before watching these videos. If you have gotten a few, you probably already got that trophy. But mathematically speaking, that's 20 treasures for us, so we are moving right along to number 21, and that is including Area 1, by the way. So you can see we're only on treasure 9 for this area, being that there is only 12 treasures per area. Got a little confusing there. I just want to clarify that so people aren't going, what you talking about? All right, so once you use the saber suit to get across, be careful and not get antsy like myself. You're going to need to pull out the prison suit and hop on the old prison ball. Hopefully you'll have a little better aim than myself and not fall down. I did fall a couple times, as you probably noticed a decent edit right there. Then once you get to the end, you're going to need to give it the old bump and tiggle and knock that thing down with your ball and chain. Not to be confused with your significant other, the wife. Ball and chain, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be responsible for suggesting any domestic violence. All right, so as you can see, the train goes just a wee bit faster than us, which is good to know for later events. And we are actually cutting it extremely close here by falling. We missed that jump, obviously, and we are going to hightail it, and we get super lucky. Woo! 2 seconds left. It was a close one. All right, moving on to number 10. We got 9 in the bag, and we're moving along now. We're going to head. This one's actually back kind of in the eastern side of the map here. And you've probably seen this one. This one is one that was right below a bottle that we got in our collection, and we made note of it during our bottle video. At least I'm pretty sure we did. If not, it looks like kind of looks like a giant upside-down golf club, like a Big Bertha of sorts. And we'll go ahead and grab that and hightail it up. Make sure you keep your line as straight as possible. Try to keep your jumps to a minimum. And we found that actually going right at the fork in the road there was actually easier for us. And the only reason is because there's only one guy to really dodge. There's a couple up top right before we get to the last little staircase there, but those guys don't ever seem to bother you. They always seem to be like under the barn or not under the barn, in the barn, off to the side or something like that. So whatever path works best for you, of course, is what we suggest, but feel free to follow our direction here. Now we're going to cut right back to that eastern side of the map again, but this time we're going to get a little bit higher. And I'm not using that in the Grateful Dead sense. I'm using that in the elevated sense. So we're going to make it all the way back, and you can actually walk all the way or ride the train tracks or the train all the way back there. And there is a telephone pole right behind where we just jumped up. And you can use that to climb up. So you don't need to follow our exact line there, but you will need the archer suit. And as you can see, it takes not one but 2 arrows and a little patience. Once you shoot the second one, you got to wait for it to go up top. Then we switch over to our thief costume, which will pretty much complete the different costume ones. So yeah, out to the game. There's one more archer one, I guess, but regardless, we have tackled all of the costumes. Now you got 1 minute to make the mad dash all the way back to our hideout, and then that'll leave us with only 1 treasure left. All to the yeah. So, highly suggest riding the rails like we are, and we're gonna cruise it all the way back down and around. And again, there's a couple different ways that you can get up to the top of the hideout once you get to the end here. But be wary of that train again. It's got it in for us, I can tell you that much. Climb that pole all the way to the top. Ooh, look at that. We had less than a half a second left right there on that one. That was a little squirrel. Squirrel McDoug. And so for this last one, you know, you're going to need to ride the train. So wherever your favorite spot is to hop on the train, there's many spots you can jump on. Ours happens to be right here. It's easy. And there's a quick peek of where we're headed. Here comes that old choo-choo. We'll hop on. Pay our little toll to ride around the corner here. This reminds me of, you know, a ride perhaps at Disneyland? I don't know. It's been a while since I've been there. So you're going to ride around. Once you pass the big mug, you're going to see this giant platform on the right-hand side before you get to the first bridge there. And on the backhand side of this rock on that platform is a little bouncer. From here, we'll switch to our archer suit, blast an arrow across, and as always, we switch back to Sly so we can run across with the quickness. What's up, Diaper? Diaper Load just logged on. If you don't know, he's got a full load. Regardless of what he does or doesn't have, we're going to grab that treasure and head back across. We're going to run across the rope, and then this time we're not going to use the train tracks. We felt it was actually quicker to beeline it all the way across. And, you know, again, you choose your path. As you can see by the top, when we get to the top, we have a few seconds left, so we didn't make a bad choice in that, but we made it! Yay! You've got 12 treasures. Yay! All right, well, that's going to go ahead and wrap up Sly Cooper Episode 2, Cotton Mouth Bluff, where we found all 12 treasures for you in Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. Feel free to head on over to Facebook and Twitter to get connected on what's going on in the now, and subscribe and vote if you feel we helped you. You know, we're doing this for you, so let us know. Give us some feedback one way or the other. And HappyThumbsGaming.com.